Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. So here's the scoop that's causing a lot of buzz in NFL circles, and definitely among Falcons fans who are eager to see their team take that next step towards Super Bowl glory. The word is that the Cincinnati Bengals, currently struggling at 3-6 and looking to reboot their roster, are making some bold moves. And at the center of this potential shakeup is T. Higgins, one of the most talented and versatile wide receivers in the league right now. Reports from Adam Schefter and other insiders suggest that Higgins is on his way to Atlanta in a blockbuster trade, with the Falcons sending a second-round pick in the 2026 draft back to Cincinnati. If this deal goes through, it's going to be a game-changer, not just for Atlanta, but for the entire NFC South. Now let's take a moment and really break down what this trade means and why it's such a strategic move for the Falcons. T. Higgins isn't just any wide receiver, he's a game-changer. The Bengals have been trying to prioritize extending Ja'Marr Chase, especially after a tough start to the season where their defense has allowed over 300 points in just 9 games. They're also dealing with cap issues, about $11 million in future cap space, and they're looking to shed some salary to focus on youth and rebuild around Chase and Joe Burrow. Higgins, who's been a regular at the Pro Bowl, is a perfect piece for that rebuild, especially given his proven ability to make contested catches and rack up yards after the catch, or YAC, which is currently elite at 4.1 yards per reception this year. The Bengals, with a record of 3-6, are clearly in a rebuild mode, and moving Higgins could free up some cap room and give them the opportunity to focus on developing younger players. But for the Falcons, this move is huge. Higgins could slot right into Atlanta's WR core and bring an immediate boost to their aerial attack. His ability to work the intermediate routes and win contested catches would complement Drake London perfectly. London has already shown flashes of being a true #1 receiver, with a PFF grade of 82. Won this season, but adding someone like Higgins would take that passing game to an entirely new level. The Falcons' offense has struggled at times, especially in the red zone, where they are currently converting at just 37.5%. Higgins' presence, combined with London's route running and athleticism, could elevate their red zone efficiency significantly. Imagine having two dynamic receivers who can create mismatches against most defensive backs. This would open up opportunities for the Falcons' offense to be more explosive and more consistent. And let's not forget about the impact on quarterback Kirk Cousins. With Higgins stretching the field and making contested catches, Cousins would have more reliable targets, which could ease his decision-making and improve overall EPA per dropback. The Falcons' passing attack would become more balanced, and teams would have to dedicate more resources to stopping that duo, which in turn could open up running lanes for Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier. The offense, in general, would be more unpredictable and dangerous, especially in critical moments like third downs and red zone situations. Now, looking at the current state of the Falcons' roster, there are some notable injuries and question marks. Kyle Pitts has been out since November with a shoulder injury, missing 3 games so far, and Darnell Mooney is questionable for Week 10 with a hamstring issue. The WR core has been hit hard by injuries, and that's made it tough for Atlanta to sustain consistent offensive success. Bringing in Higgins would not only add talent but also depth, giving Arthur Smith more options and flexibility in his play calling. The Falcons could then deploy a more dynamic offense that's capable of scoring in bunches and controlling the clock more effectively. Statistically, Higgins' 2025 season has been pretty solid. He's caught 32 passes on 48 targets for 481 yards and 6 touchdowns, averaging 15 yards per catch. These numbers might not pop out at you, but they're consistent with what Higgins has been known for, making tough catches in traffic and being a reliable target in critical situations. His contested catch rate of 50% and separation of just 1.8 yards per route show he's comfortable in tight coverage, which would be a nightmare for defenses trying to contain him. He also ranks 23rd among WRs in PFF grade at 76. 5, which is quite respectable considering the struggles Cincinnati has faced this season. His career stats: over 362 receptions, more than 50 yards, and 40 touchdowns, show he's a proven playmaker who can step up when it counts. From Cincinnati's perspective, it's a strategic move to focus on building around Chase and Burrow. They're trying to extend Chase's contract and prioritize their offensive line, which needs upgrades. Moving Higgins could save roughly $12 million in cap space, allowing them to focus on youth and rebuild their offensive line for the future. Their current offensive production of just 224 points scored and the inconsistent play from Burrow, who's had some struggles with EPA per dropback at around 0.15, make it clear that they're in a rebuild mode. The BENGALS are betting on their young core and trying to get better in the long run, even if it means parting ways with a talented receiver like Higgins now. The impact of this trade on the NFC South and the Falcons' playoff chances could be enormous. This duo of London and Higgins could combine for around 800 yards, with an expected boost of about 18% in EPA per pass attempt. Their red zone TD share could increase by 23%, making them one of the most potent duos in the league. Higgins' ability to win against top corners like Marshawn Lattimore on the Saints' defense would be a huge advantage. It's not just about the yards. It's about the matchup nightmares they create and the freedom it gives Arthur Smith to dial up more creative and explosive plays. This upgrade could help the Falcons turn close games into wins and improve their win rate by over 11%, especially in high-pressure situations. Defensively, the Falcons would also benefit from this offensive upgrade, with the offense controlling the clock better and converting more third downs, projected to go from 39.1% to 44%. The defense would get more rest and be able to play at a higher level. The overall points allowed per game could drop from 26.4 to around 22, giving Atlanta a much better chance to compete in a tough NFC South. Their current record of 3-6 isn't ideal, but with these improvements, especially with a talented receiver like Higgins bolstering the passing game, the Falcons could turn things around and make a serious push for the postseason. Looking ahead, the betting odds for the Super Bowl have shifted significantly with this news. The Falcons, who were at plus 8,000 odds earlier in the season, have seen those numbers drop to plus 4,000, reflecting the increased optimism among fans and analysts about their championship chances. Higgins, as a key piece in this puzzle, could serve as the X-factor in their playoff run, especially in the unpredictable and often rainy conditions at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. His contested catch rate of 50% and ability to make plays in tight coverage would be crucial in high-stakes playoff games, helping Atlanta establish itself as a dark horse contender. The AFC and NFC are loaded with talent, but with this move, the Falcons are signaling that they're in it to win it. They're making bold moves, and that's exactly what playoff-bound teams do. This trade also highlights the different philosophies between the Falcons and BENGALS. The Falcons appear to be in a win-now mode, especially with their talented young quarterback and a roster that's looking to maximize its peak years. Adding Higgins fits perfectly with their offensive identity: fast, explosive, and capable of big plays. Meanwhile, the BENGALS are focusing on a slow and steady rebuild, prioritizing youth and cap flexibility, which is understandable given their current struggles. But for Atlanta, this is a golden opportunity to accelerate their rebuild and really solidify their offense as one of the best in the league. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Higgins can be that missing piece to finally push the Falcons into serious Super Bowl contention? How do you see this impact playing out in the upcoming games and the postseason? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This is an exciting time to be a Falcons fan, and with moves like this, the future looks brighter than ever.